You know that moment when you're standing in the garden center looking at a seed packet and you notice the price? And then you wonder, how much are they actually marking this up? More than you think. In fact, most people have no idea that the seed sources professionals rely on every single season are sitting right there on the internet, completely free to access. I'm Adam Grove, and on Backyard Crops, we talk about growing real food without the real high prices. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on where the serious growers actually shop and why nurseries would rather keep you in the dark about these places. Before we get started, if you grow vegetables in containers or small spaces, you need to see this. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. I release new growing tips every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming. Drop a like on this video too. It really helps me create more content just like this. Stick around because this information could genuinely save you hundreds of dollars this year. Why this matters, the problem. Look, let me be straight with you about how the gardening industry actually works. When you walk into your local nursery, and I mean any nursery, even the small mom-and-pop operations, they're buying those seeds and starter plants wholesale. They put them on their shelves and mark up the price significantly. Is that fair? Sure. They've got real expenses. Rent, workers, store displays, utilities. It all adds up. I understand the business model. But here's the thing that bothers me. You end up paying twice as much sometimes, and you get exactly what they decide to stock that season. Nothing more, nothing less. They've already chosen for you. Limited varieties, limited options, limited creativity. You're forced to work with what's available, not what you actually want. Then something changes. You skip the middleman entirely. You go straight to the source. Online seed suppliers. Completely different experience. Suddenly, you have access to rare heirloom varieties that never see the inside of a retail location. You can choose unusual open-pollinated plants that commercial nurseries won't touch because they don't fit the mass market model. For us container gardeners, this is genuinely life-changing. You can hunt down varieties specifically bred for compact growth, patio success, and small space production. No more forcing a full-size tomato vine into a 5-gallon bucket. No more frustrated growing seasons because you picked the wrong plant for your setup. You get exactly what works for your situation. The shift in gardening. The gardening world is changing and is happening quietly. Better Homes and Gardens has reported this trend. Newer gardening communities online are talking about it constantly. More people every year are buying directly from seed companies rather than picking up what's convenient at the nursery. They're doing it for the financial savings, absolutely, but they're also doing it because of something even more important: choice. Think about it. The convenience of ordering from home. The variety available is absolutely massive. You can find exactly what you need for your specific garden zone, your specific growing method, your specific container setup. That kind of customization doesn't exist anywhere else. For us container gardeners, this is everything. You're not spending time pulling weeds in an actual garden bed. You want something that works, something that looks beautiful, something that doesn't drain your wallet. That's precisely where these internet seed companies become total game changers. More control over what you plant, more creative freedom with unusual varieties, less money coming out of your budget. Once you actually see the results you can get from these sources, going back to the nursery markup feels impossible. I genuinely don't anymore. The secret isn't really secret. Here's the honest truth. These seed companies aren't actually a secret. Serious gardeners know them. They swear by them. Every season, they quietly place their orders and stock up. Meanwhile, casual gardeners walk past them completely. They're too busy grabbing whatever's on display at the big box store to even wonder if better options exist. That's exactly why nurseries don't put much energy into telling you about these alternatives. Once people discover these sources, they start understanding how much money they've actually been wasting. Less money at the nursery, that's bad for retail business. I learned this lesson the hard way several years ago. I went to my local garden center and spent nearly double what I should have paid for a seed packet. It was honestly pretty sad looking when I got home. I planted those seeds with hope. Half of them never sprouted. Total disappointment. My money wasted. My time wasted. My entire growing season thrown off schedule. Then I tried one of these smaller online companies. Same types of plants, different source. The germination rate almost doubled. The plants grew stronger. I had way more variety to choose from. My wallet still had money inside. That moment changed everything about how I approach buying seeds.
First major source, Heirloom Excellence. Let me introduce you to the first supplier that should genuinely be on your radar, Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds. They're based out of Missouri, and if you've never come across them, get ready to fall down a rabbit hole of amazing plant varieties. These people are basically the treasure chest of the entire seed world. Their whole business model centers on rare and heirloom varieties. I'm not using hyperbole here. They offer thousands of options. You'll find everything from old-world heirloom beans to purple carrots that look like something from a fantasy novel. Tomato varieties you didn't even realize existed. It's honestly like walking backwards in time, except you're holding a gardener's wish list instead of a history book. The best part? Their seeds are open-pollinated and completely non-GMO. That means you actually can save them year after year if you want to. For those of us who love having crazy variety or who just want something different from that same boring lettuce or tomato that everyone else is growing, Baker Creek feels like a dream. They even publish an annual catalog completely free. It looks more like a fancy coffee table book than a seed catalog. Beautiful photos, stories about each plant, where it comes from, how people have grown it, the history behind it. Reading through one almost makes you want to plant everything inside it. Just pure inspiration. Now, for container gardeners like us, this is where Baker Creek really stands out. They've got dwarf and patio-friendly varieties, compact tomatoes, peppers in smaller sizes, even mini melons that perform amazingly in containers or raised beds. Instead of cramming a full-size tomato vine into a tiny pot and watching it struggle, you can choose a bush variety that produces just as much flavor without the management headache. Same delicious harvest, much easier setup. Money-saving tip coming your way. Since they sell just the seed packets and not live plants, you're genuinely getting way more for your money. One single packet can grow an entire container garden. The cost is a fraction of what you'd pay for starter plants at a nursery. You also get control over timing. You start them when you want. This means stronger and healthier plants that are already adapted to your specific growing conditions before they ever go into their final container. Quick practical tip before you visit their website. Order early. Baker Creek's most popular varieties disappear fast. When their new catalog releases each year, popular items sell out quicker than concert tickets. If you want access to those unique patio-friendly varieties, make your decisions early. Get your order in. You'll be completely set for the growing season. Remember to like this video and subscribe to Backyard Crops for more tips like this. Second major source, heirloom and purpose. If Baker Creek represents the bold explorer side of the seed world, the next company feels more like a quiet historian. They're dedicated to keeping our gardening heritage completely alive. Let me introduce Seed Savers Exchange, based out of Iowa. This one's different from the others. It's actually a nonprofit organization. Their entire mission revolves around preserving garden heritage. They focus specifically on heirloom and open-pollinated seeds, the varieties your grandparents or great-grandparents might have grown before big commercial hybrids took over the entire market. What makes them special isn't just that they have amazing variety, though they absolutely do. It's the story and purpose behind everything. Every seed packet you purchase actively supports the preservation of genetic diversity in our food systems. Think about it simply. They're literally saving old seed varieties that might otherwise completely disappear forever. This is gardening with real purpose behind it. I think that resonates strongly with a lot of us who care more than just getting a harvest at the end of the season. From a practical money perspective, Seed Savers Exchange delivers fantastic value for budget-conscious gardeners. Most of their seed packets come at moderate prices. You're absolutely not paying those inflated retail nursery markups. Here's where your dollars really stretch further. Because these seeds are open-pollinated, you can save seeds from your healthiest performing plants. Replant them next season. You're not continuously buying new seeds. You're creating a cycle that keeps producing value, year after year. It transforms gardening from just a hobby into an actual tradition. Plant once, grow your plants, save the seeds, start over next year. For container gardeners especially, that's incredibly empowering. You could start with just one pot of basil or a few pepper plants. At the end of the season, save those seeds. Next year, free seeds. You're spending $0 on plants from that point forward, just your soil and water. The mechanics are simple enough that anyone can do it. Take an old seed packet, label it clearly, write the date, write a note about how the plant performed that year. Store it somewhere cool and dry. Congratulations, you've just built your own mini seed bank at home. That's all it takes. If you're interested in gardening smarter and more economically, Seed Savers Exchange absolutely deserves to be bookmarked in your browser right now. Heritage meets practicality. That's a combination that's genuinely rare in today's world.
Third major source, regional adaptation. Now, if Seed Savers Exchange focuses on preserving the past, this next company emphasizes adapting for future conditions, especially if you're living in a warmer climate or if you care deeply about sustainable growing practices. Let me introduce Southern Exposure Seed Exchange out of Virginia. This one flies a little under the radar with average gardeners, but it's a real favorite with people who take sustainable growing seriously and who want varieties specifically suited to their region. Their core concept is straightforward but powerful. Vegetables, herbs, and open-pollinated seeds that are scientifically grown and selected to thrive, not just barely survive, in real-world conditions. What I genuinely appreciate about Southern Exposure is how intentional they are with every choice they make about what to offer. They focus specifically on varieties that handle heat and humidity effectively, varieties that perform well even in less than perfect soil conditions. And let's be honest, most of our gardens fall into that less than perfect category. That's just reality. For those of us gardening in containers, this matters tremendously. You don't typically have deep, rich garden soil. You don't have acres of space to work with. But when you choose the right variety, you can still produce incredible food on a patio or balcony or that one corner of your backyard. Southern Exposure has put in the work studying this. Their actual catalog includes notes about which plants perform best in smaller setups, which varieties handle compact soil conditions well. You're not guessing. You're not doing trial and error gardening. You're starting with something that's already been proven to succeed in tight container situations. Their pricing stays fair and reasonable. They frequently offer what they call variety packs. These are basically small bundles combining different varieties of the same crop. Want to test 3 different tomato types, but don't want to buy 3 separate full-size packets? These bundles let you do exactly that. Same price as buying 1 or 2 packets. You get more experimentation, you keep things interesting, your budget stays intact. One practical tip from my own experience: before you complete your purchase, take a look at their shipping costs. They're reasonable in most cases, but if you're ordering several different items, you want to balance that shipping cost against these variety packs. Sometimes buying more items with one shipping charge makes way more financial sense than smaller orders with multiple shipping fees. A small calculation that adds up to significant savings if you're working with a tight gardening budget. Southern Exposure represents the kind of company that quietly supports how most of us actually garden. Small scale, thoughtful, sustainable. They're not flashy, they don't push gimmicks or trendy products, but they absolutely deliver reliable results. Once you try them, you'll probably come back every single season. That's the mark of a company doing things right. Fourth major source, beginner-friendly. Now, if Southern Exposure emphasizes smart and sustainable growing, this next company focuses on simplicity and accessibility. It's absolutely perfect for newer gardeners or anyone who wants straightforward, dependable growing experiences without overthinking everything. Botanical Interests, based out of Colorado, comes next.
This one isn't super mysterious or obscure, but it's definitely overlooked by casual gardeners who stick exclusively to whatever the nursery has in stock. That's honestly a shame because this company quietly produces some of the most beginner-friendly seed packets anywhere. They've got a massive selection of vegetables, herbs, and flowers, tons of options. But what really stands out is how accessible they make everything. Take one of their seed packets. It's almost like holding a mini growing class in your hand. The packet flap has detailed growing instructions printed right there. Tips on proper spacing, sunlight requirements, when and how to harvest. It's basically a pocket lesson for anyone still building confidence with gardening. Their design and presentation is beautiful too. Clean layouts, clear labeling, easy-to-read fonts. But this isn't just about looking nice. The information they provide actually helps you avoid the common mistakes that frustrate new gardeners. Overwatering, planting too deep, wrong spacing, poor sun exposure. They address it all. If you're growing in containers or small raised beds, their packets tell you exactly how deep to plant your seeds, how frequently to water, which varieties stay naturally compact. That's genuinely important when you don't have traditional garden beds to work with. Price-wise, they're positioned really competitively. You're not paying for a fancy brand name markup. The germination quality is consistently solid. I've been using their herb seeds for years now. Basil, cilantro, rosemary, never had one fail me. They sprout reliably every single time. For anyone wanting a straightforward seed source that doesn't require hours of research or troubleshooting, Botanical Pinterest is honestly one of the easiest decisions. For my container gardening audience, for people watching their spending closely, it's an excellent fit. You get genuine value, you get actual growing guidance, you don't need to spend weeks researching how to plant each individual thing. The packet walks you through it completely. When you read gardening guides and think, I just want something simple that actually works, this is where you start.
Smart shopping strategies. All right, we've covered 4 amazing seed sources. But before you load up your online shopping cart with excitement, we need to talk about actually shopping smart. The goal isn't just finding cool seeds that look interesting. It's making sure you're getting legitimate value. It's avoiding those quiet little price increases that sneak in when you're not paying attention. I've got 3 critical tips for you. These aren't complicated, but they genuinely matter. Number 1, check seed freshness and germination rates. This is absolutely huge. Seeds don't last forever. That's just biology. If seeds sit in a warehouse or on a shelf for too long, germination rates drop fast. Your money gets wasted. Your entire season gets delayed. The really good seed suppliers are transparent about this. They tell you when a batch was actually packaged. They label new introductions clearly. They're honest about seed age. Baker Creek is excellent with this. They list their fresh seed lot information right there. If a company is open and transparent about how recent their stock is, that's a green flag. When a company doesn't mention anything about freshness or stock age, I'd seriously reconsider buying there. You want to plant seeds you can be confident about, not old inventory that's been sitting around. Number 2, match your seeds to your growing zone and container setup. Even premium quality seeds will disappoint if they're not suited to your specific conditions. So think about your actual situation. You're growing in containers, right? That means limited space for roots, different moisture patterns, unique heat levels. You want varieties specifically labeled as compact, dwarf, or container friendly. Look for terms like patio tomatoes, bush beans, smaller kale varieties. These descriptions make a genuine difference. It's like choosing a pet that fits your living situation. You wouldn't adopt a large dog if you live in a studio apartment. The same logic applies to plants. Compact and container-specific varieties reward you with healthier growth, easier management, and more productivity in the space you actually have. Most of these online suppliers actually let you filter search results by container compatibility or space size. Use that feature. It's there for a reason. The filtering saves time and prevents mistakes. Number 3, calculate the total cost, not just the seed price. This is where many people get caught. Cheap seeds, expensive shipping. You see a packet for $3 and think you found a steal. Perfect deal. Then shipping appears at $7 or $8, and suddenly that bargain isn't bargain anymore.
The total cost shows up and you feel the buyer's remorse. Do the math first. Add the seed cost plus the shipping charge. Compare that total cost against what you actually pay locally at a retail location. Many times it still comes out cheaper, especially when you factor in variety and quality, but it's always worth checking before you hit the purchase button. If you're ordering multiple types of seeds, group them into one order instead of several separate orders. One shipping charge instead of 3 or 4. That difference adds up way faster than you think. Freshness, proper fit, and full cost. Get those 3 elements right, and you'll never waste another growing season wondering why your plants underperformed or why your bank account felt emptier. Seeds versus live plants. One question comes up constantly. Should you start from seeds or should you buy live plants from the nursery? It's a legitimate question. The answer? There's no one perfect solution that works for absolutely everyone. But since most of us here are container gardeners, seeds make way more sense in most situations. Here's why. Seeds give you flexibility. You control the schedule. You pick exactly which varieties to grow. You control the entire growing process from the very beginning. You're not limited to whatever happens to be in stock that week at your local nursery. You decide. That control matters tremendously when you're working with containers. You decide how many plants you need. You decide how deep your soil goes. You control when to move them into bigger containers. Plus, seeds cost dramatically less. One seed packet gives you dozens of potential plants for less money than 1 or 2 nursery transplants cost. The financial difference is significant. For those of us who prefer not spending our days bent over in a real garden, starting seeds feels easier. You work at a table, a bench, somewhere comfortable. You watch your little sprouts emerge from the soil. You move them around as needed. Low stress, high rewards. Now, live plants have their place too. If you want established herb starts or tomato transplants, go ahead. That's completely fine. Just check the shipping details carefully. Live plants need careful handling during transport. Not every company is equipped for that responsibility. Many seed suppliers focus exclusively on dry seed packets. They don't ship live plants. Make sure whoever you're buying from guarantees safe delivery. Look for temperature control options, especially if you're ordering during hot months.
The balanced approach. My honest advice? Start with seeds first. Most budget-friendly approach. Widest variety available. Then, if you want to mix it up or fill some empty containers later in the season, add live plants as your second wave. You save money starting out, you grow exactly what you love, you still keep flexibility to buy instant gratification plants later if you want that feeling of instant results. Think of it this way. Seeds give you freedom to experiment. Plants give you satisfaction of seeing results immediately. Use both approaches when it makes sense for your situation, but let seeds be your foundation and starting point. Come harvest time, you'll be grateful you made that choice. All right, I genuinely want to hear from you now. I'm serious about this. What's that one vegetable or herb you're most excited to grow this upcoming season? The one you've been thinking about since winter. Maybe something you've never tried before, but you absolutely can't wait to see sprouting in your containers. Drop that answer in the comment section below. I'm going to personally reply to as many comments as I can. I'll tell you which supplier I buy that variety from. I'll explain how it actually performed for me. Real experience from me to you. This channel isn't just about me giving gardening tips. It's about all of us sharing what genuinely works. Let's make the comments section into a real exchange of gardening ideas. If you've already ordered from one of these suppliers, or even a completely different company, tell us about your experience. Was the shipping reliable? Did your seeds actually sprout? Were there surprise successes or surprising failures? Your real feedback helps every single gardener here. New growers, experienced gardeners, everyone benefits when we share honest information. That's fundamentally what Backyard Crops is about. Learning together, growing together, saving money while we do it. Please share this video with a friend who's always asking, where do I actually get quality seeds? That one share could genuinely change how they garden this year. Subscribe to Backyard Crops for weekly content on container growing, budget tips, and more seed secrets. Like this video and ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. All right, we've covered 4 genuine seed sources you probably haven't seriously considered if you're shopping primarily at big box retailers for 2025. Each one brings something different. Each one deserves exploration based on what matters most to you as a gardener. Baker Creek offers bold variety and heirloom excellence. Seed Savers Exchange brings heritage and sustainable purpose. Southern Exposure delivers regional adaptation and heat tolerance. Botanical Interest provides beginner-friendly guidance and solid reliability. All four offer you more variety than retail stores, better actual value for your money, real control over what you grow. That's the combination that transforms gardening from something frustrating into something genuinely rewarding. Go explore these options. Try one or try all four. Find what fits your gardening philosophy. Load up those online carts. Use those smart shopping tips we discussed. Start your seeds early, watch them grow, save money, harvest abundantly. If this video helped you, please hit like and subscribe to Backyard Crops. Share this with other container gardeners. Your support lets me keep creating content about container growing, budget-friendly gardening, and finding the best seed sources available. Thanks for watching Backyard Crops. Now go grow something amazing.